Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into my video today. Plants are something which quite literally gives you your fruit of labor. Like you can hold your fruit of labor in your own hand and be satisfied and gratified by the look, size, shape, and the taste of it. So today I'm going to take you through my journey of how I've managed to get such awesome ripe red tomatoes right on my balcony. I don't have a terrace garden or a proper garden or a backyard to do my gardening activities. So let's just jump right into the video and get started. I started with preparing the seedling for my tomatoes. So for that I took some good variety of seeds. And I took a potting mix, which was regular potting mix plus 30% compost, so 70% potting mix and 30% compost. I dampened it and put it in a 4-inch pot with good drainage holes. Next, I placed the tomato seeds properly in the potting mix that I had prepared, and as I told, I had dampened the soil already before. Next, I added a very thin layer of topsoil on top of it. It was the same mixture of 30% compost and 70% potting mix. Next, I'm going to pack it very well so that the seeds do not get displaced when I water the plant. Next, I watered it very gently with a sprayer. I put my 4-inch pot on a southwest facing balcony, and this is the result that you see after a month. So my plants are getting leggy, but that's something I want. Here you can see the kind of sun exposure this window gets. So that's the window. I was preparing my seedlings indoors. Because the spring had started almost, but the frost was not gone by the time I had started my seedlings. Next, when my seedling was 8 to 10 inches long, I took it out of the pot and I made sure I removed the bottom leaves, and I will plant my tomato plant as deep as possible. So here you can see I planted it in one of the 8 inches pots and one 8-inch grow bag. Next thing, very important for tomato plants, is that they are very heavy feeders. So every 15 days I would fertilize my plants with organic compost or organic manure. So I would take 2 heapful, a small spatula of this compost, and add it to my 8-inch grow bag and mix it with the soil properly. I would also give you an option that you can fertilize it with the stick fertilizer or liquid seaweed fertilizers. This is the result after 2.5 months. My plant had started flowering and producing fruits. So the tomato flowers are self-pollinating. They can be pollinated by the wind, or you can also tickle a little at the back of the flowering stem to help with the pollination of tomatoes. However, my first batch of tomatoes started developing blossom end rot issue. So this is caused by calcium deficiency in the plant, or it is also said that if there is watering irregularity. However, that was not the case in my plant. So what I did, I took Tums antacid tablets. These are very rich in calcium, and what I did was I took 8 to 9 tablets of Tums and dissolved it in a half cup of water. I let it sit for some time, and later when they dissolved, I mixed it very nicely. Here you can see that they dissolved completely. I mixed it very nicely, and I took my 1 gallon watering can and I added the solution to it. To help the soil absorb this calcium properly, I also added my liquid seaweed fertilizer because it has magnesium as well in it. Next, I'm gonna water my tomato plants with this solution very generously. So I'm just adding it in the soil for now. Here you can see me adding it in the grow bag first, and then I added it to my 8-inch pot. So I added it generously there, and the next thing I made sure was to pluck out the blossom end rot affected tomatoes out of the plant, because it was of no use letting them grow there. They were just taking away the plant's energy, and they had anyways rotten up. In case your plant is more severely affected, you can use store-bought calcium-rich solution to use it as a foliar spray on your plant. So these will fix your bottom end rot issues. After I watered my plants continuously for like 3 to 4 weeks, every week I would water it like twice a week, and then you can see the kind of result. There was no bottom end rot anymore on my plants. So after I took care of my plants with the regular fertilization as well as a regular feed of calcium, here you can see the kind of fruit it started giving me. I tried to tie this branch up, but you guys, this was so heavy with the weight and the size of these tomatoes. It was almost touching the ground. Oh, I forgot to mention, my balcony receives west sun, so it's a west facing balcony, and the plant was getting a good 5 to 6 hours of sunlight here. So these are the tomatoes that were growing, and I was so happy with the result, because initially, because of the bottom end rot issue, I was a little sad and I thought that the hope was gone, but no, the solution that I prepared kind of saved the day, and I was able to harvest pretty good amount of fruits from my plant. So here you can see me harvesting my fruit of labor. It was so satisfying getting all these tomatoes right there on my balcony. I have a small family and these were enough for me, so every week I would get a pretty decent harvest of these tomatoes from my just 2 plants, and they were sufficient for me. So I also observed a very unique thing. I am not sure if it has happened with you too. There was a very distinct smell or a fragrance around these tomato plants and these fresh tomatoes. Whenever I would sit near them to harvest or to do a raking of the soil, I would get that pleasant fragrance around. And it was pretty enchanting. I just want to know if it has happened with any one of you too. Please mention in the comment section below if it has enchanted you as well. I'm a very big fragrance fanatic. I have a lot of good collection of fragrances, but this tomato fragrance was also enchanting to me. So I was a little surprised by my discovery. Anyways, if you could let me know in the comment section below whether you also like the smell or not, that would be helpful for me to figure out whether I am the only lunatic on this planet or not. So yeah, these plum ripe tomatoes were really very, very satisfying to harvest, and I got quite a very decent amount and a decent harvest all through the proper summer season here in Toronto, and right here on my balcony. So yes guys, if we just take a very good care of our plants and just harvest the tomatoes when they're ripe, and that kind of help our plant to grow even more tomatoes or fruits in them, because they can divert their energy there. So that was the video guys. Hope you liked it. If you did, then please hit the like button and also consider subscribing to my channel for more such videos. Thank you.